Plus.
9 a.m. in the morning, she's
7 o'clock in the morning.
Pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Grants of rights being discussed. One athletic director told me they thought they were 10 minutes away from getting that whole Pac-12 thing done. This thing was done, and then it blew up and obviously splintered, and here we are. I've been told over the last few days by a number of people that in regards to the Mountain West, it looks like this group is planning to stay together. Now, I always take that with such a grain of salt because I've heard so much, yep, we're in it together until I get my offer, right? I've heard that way too many times. So I
Speaking of sneaking out, that's San Diego State out the window.
Well,
every other minute, like, hey, back here.
And that's an interesting one to me too. It sounds like that was the president more so than the athletic director trying to rally that thing together. If that happened, and I don't know that I think it's a horrible idea. I would like to believe New Mexico would be involved with that. But you take what do you think is going to be left? 2? It's going to be Oregon State, Washington State, right?
Yes.
You take the bulk of the Mountain West Conference and add I think SMU is going to end up in the ACC, right? So I don't think SMU is going to be there. But if you decide you want to go west and you throw in a Memphis or whatever, what makes you better out there, out of the AAC? What makes you better now? Does UTSA? Does North Texas? Okay, you look at it and you say you go. But whatever. I think we're looking at it. I think there's some questions moving forward because I think we're ultimately headed towards some sort of a merger or an absorption. Do you like the Pac-12 flag? Do you like the Mountain West flag? Do you like a combination flag? Do you like a brand new flag? What would you prefer it fly under?
Mountain West.
Okay,
I think there's been so much RIP Pac-12. Like every story that's written about how that conference is dead, here's the history.
Yeah.
It's gone. And just because you have the Pac-12 flag, it doesn't give you entrance in the college football playoff. It doesn't give you a $20 million media deal.
Okay. There's a few athletic directors who feel that way. And there's a few who absolutely want to fly under the Pac-12 flag because as much as people say it's been beat up, it still has that recognition,
it's known.
That name. Mm-hmm. There is something to it. What will happen, as much as San Diego State made their run with their NCAA basketball units. Think of all the basketball units that stay with the Pac-12. How much money is there, right? With those Pac-12 basketball units remain, right? All that money that comes with whatever UCLA and Oregon and Arizona and right, they get 4 or 5 teams a year. You had the one run with San Diego State. I think you got to look at that and say, well, does that money? I don't know the answer. Nobody knows the answer, right? Does it stay? I will tell you that exposure on the Mountain West, and I think at some points we're talking semantics, right? Would it matter if you're called the Mountain West, the Mountain Pacific, the Pacific Mountain, the Mountain, or just Pac-12? It doesn't matter how many damn teams are in it. How many teams are in the Big 12? Does it matter? Or the Big 10? There's still some notoriety, and I would argue with you that if you ask somebody back east or in Texas or in Iowa or in Florida, even now, what carries more weight, Pac-12 or Mountain West? They might laugh at both of them, but Pac-12 might.
But it doesn't matter.
So that's why not go with Pac-12, right?
It doesn't give you more money.
Well,
doesn't give you access to now the shares about what happens with those basketball shares from the team is a fascinating one.
Yeah, no. There's all kinds of little things to think about. The Pac-12 right now doesn't have a TV deal beyond this year. The Mountain West has 2 years left on a deal with CBS Sports and Fox. Now, it's not nearly as lucrative as even the $20 million, $25 million that was turned down per team on the Apple deal, right? So how do you combine this? Don't you think that Fox and CBS Sports would love to dominate those West Coast windows, right? And so but I got to believe they would go with that group of teams, group of schools, over whatever flag it was. So I think we're playing semantics, but that's part of the conversation. But part of the conversation is, all those little things, shares and exit fees, right? All of those things. Do you think we're slowed down? Do you think we're somewhat settled? Because I'm not sure we are.
You can never think you're settled in this, especially this is, push towards the Super League and a legit split in FBS football. Yeah. And all those ADs and presidents can be talking about unit shares, this or that. They have never been more helpless to stop the SEC Big Ten from doing whatever the heck they want than right now.
I think there's a lot to that. So, do you think it's going just to? I saw you tweet this, and you've said this, and Grammer said it, and I think I've even said it. Why on earth they're not just doing this for football, and leaving everything else alone? Okay, I understand why, because there would be a school in a conference. Let's just say everything stayed the same, right? USC and UCLA would be coming back in to the Pac-12 to play basketball with
so much more money,
right? And so if they wanted your basketball coach, they would just buy your basketball coach, their facility. So yeah, you would be playing at a distinct disadvantage against teams in your league that are playing football at that level, and that's why they're that's the reason. I mean, 100%, that's the reason. I had this text conversation with one of our colleagues over messaging.
So what's the stopping point? And that's the problem. Is like Clemson and Florida State, they're not bad programs. They got a lot of money, but it's still not enough.
It's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough. So I think the next thing, there's some reality of SMU to the ACC. I think SMU's boosters have realized this is their last chance to go Power 5. They have put together money where basically they're going to join the ACC without the ACC paying them anything for the next 5 years, right? Basically, their boosters said, we'll cover that cost. We just want to play in that league. This is our last chance. So the irony is there's a real chance that SMU gets into a power conference and San Diego State does not, which is unfathomable 3 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Right?
San Diego State tried. They said they were in.
Well, everybody said they were in. They were in. I mean,
was Pac-12 going to let them in? Yeah. They didn't.
Well, they were. No, they were.
So was it that Friday morning when they voted the grants of right, and then they were going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they were in this whole time. The whole plan was to add San Diego State to the Pac-12. As soon as SC and UCLA left, everywhere you read, everything that made sense.
But why didn't they then? What was
because for whatever reason, they needed to get their media rights deal done, and that's one of those things that you know how sometimes you just can't wrap your mind around something.
Yeah.
That's the one. How are we're negotiating media rights deals before we add teams? Like that's the one that blows my mind. Wouldn't we want to know if you're a TV company, right? You're an executive negotiating the deal on behalf of your network. Don't you want to know who's in this league moving forward? So now I know what you're worth. How am I giving you your rights for 10 teams or 9 teams?
Were they were pretty much were they holding out to not have to give them
a full share? Yeah.
Right.
I think that was part of it. Yes. So, I mean, by every account, San Diego State was in. Now, SMU, I think, is going to, and I know that's real. Talking to the SMU or talking to the ACC. I think SMU to the ACC is probable. Do they add another team? I mean, do you have to have an even number of teams? I don't think so. I don't. So the Cal Stanford thing is really, I don't know where that goes. It sounds like that's stalling. That won't surprise me if that happens. The leagues, man. What are leagues, man? What is it anymore? There's no regionality. I guess there is in the SEC. I mean, it's the southern part. It's Texas to the coast, right? Below the Mason-Dixon line, I imagine. But what does it matter? So we'll ask the question as we go. And I'm going to guess you did this. Who wins here? Was this good for college athletics? Was this worse for college athletics? Do you feel better? Do you like it better? Because I've listened to the argument, this is way better and it separates the haves from the have-nots. And somehow the people are telling me, well, nobody wanted to watch Oregon State play UCLA or USC. All right, so you're happier watching USC play Illinois? You feel better watching UCLA play Rutgers? Because for as many USC Ohio State games or UCLA Michigans or Oregon Penn States, you're getting 2 to 3 times as many Nebraska Washingtons or Minnesota Oregons or Rutgers UCLAs, right?
Yep.
Or Northwestern versus USC or Purdue versus USC. You're getting 4 times more of that than you're getting your marquee game. So the whole, please spare me the whole, nobody cared watching Arizona State play Washington State. Well, actually, some people did. They rated, the ratings sucked. No, the ratings actually didn't suck. And somehow it's going to be better for me to watch Arizona play Texas Tech or Central Florida. Cincinnati play Colorado? That's somehow better? That's escaped me. Can you guys help me with that? Can somebody explain why that's way better? Because it's not. Mm-hmm. I mean, have you had that conversation yet?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's one that, at this point, and Chip Kelly, head coach of UCLA, even talked about it. Like, why don't we just split this?
Yeah, I know.
Football does their thing, but even split football. Because it's coming to that point. Because you're never going to be enough. That carrot, the light at the end of the tunnel, you're not all the same Division I FBS teams. So why don't you give yourself something to play for?
Was it a Midnight Oil song? The rich get the richer, the poor get the picture. The bombs never hit you when you're down so low. Right? He's right, dude. He's right. All right, we got a lot to do today. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. That is the Sports Animal phone line. That is the Sports Animal text line. Looking forward to jumping back in and hearing from you all. We got a lot of NFL. We got 2 games tonight. And when we come back, Aaron is turning up the heat. A little impatience by the big guy. His first run against somebody else with his new teammates with the Jets. How did Aaron respond? And was he right in responding that way? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a little sports analysis.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info,
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs.
Lorenzen, a no-hitter for the Philadelphia Phillies. Just his second start in Philly. 7-0 Philly over Washington, and a no-no for Michael Lorenzen. What's up? Thanks for being with us on The Sports Animal. Jeff, JJ, and DC. We're here for you at 505-246-0610. So the Jets scrimmaged with the Panthers yesterday, and Aaron Rodgers played. And evidently the offensive line wasn't very good, JJ. Aaron Rodgers was a little impatient. First time, at least the public had seen any impatience. This was his center, Connor McGovern. I sensed frustration from everybody on our O-line. Aaron, the coaches, you can't go 3 and out in a 2-minute drill like that. I could see changing, said Corey Davis. He's been real patient, real lenient with us and working with us and making sure we get everything down, which is what we need. But I can imagine going the other way if it doesn't pick up, end quote. So Aaron's been great, outwardly great, living his best life, loving where he is. I mean, life couldn't be any better. I just love it here. And I told you, they start out 1-3. Things change a little bit, right? They're not 1-3, and they might have even lost a scrimmage. I don't know if they kept score. How quick? And I haven't seen Hard Knocks. You guys watch it yet?
I did. Yeah.
You did? How was it? Really?
It was pretty predictable. It was the Aaron Rodgers show.
It was the Aaron Rodgers show.
For the most part.
Did he give them access, or they just got access?
No, I mean, the camera was always on him. So it actually did seem like there was some limited access, but it was an introduction to the new team, it felt like.
All right. So, I mean, that's what it is, and he's the veteran. And when we're sitting here in 2 months, hell, when we're sitting here in 6 weeks, what's Aaron Rodgers all about with that team?
The first 4 weeks of the season, they host 2 division games.
Yep.
Buffalo, New England. They're at Dallas.
That's what I was
and
telling
they host
you.
Kansas City. It is a ridiculously tough start. And this is what you have to do, though. You do have to start turning up the heat, the expectations for a football team that everyone loves. They got young dudes that are really good. They had the offensive and defensive rookie of the year, which is great. But there's still a level you have to get to. And this turning up the heat is different than, say, Trayvon Diggs continually attacking Dak Prescott on the practice field. This is, all right, Aaron Rodgers came in and set a tone, and everyone was, wow, Aaron Rodgers, I can't believe I get to play with you. And I was like, no, now you need to focus on us playing together, not stop being wowed that it's Aaron Rodgers on the football field. Like, go do your job.
So, pardon me if I'm not going to get all fired up over Aaron being upset about going 3 and out in a 2-minute drill in their first scrimmage against another team. All right? I mean, with all due respect, pardon me if that's not just going to make me lose my mind. I'm way more interested, because I think the Jets are going to be fine. I mean, don't you think by September, whatever, when they open up, who'd you tell me they open with? Bills?
Buffalo Bills.
All right. Don't you think they're going to be fine? They're going to have it down? I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers at the goal line with 3 plays to try and score a touchdown. My money will be on him. Okay, that's not my concern. My concern is watching his demeanor, watching how, because I think it's all calculated too. Watching how he brings this team along, how he evolves, how he handles these young guys. When he starts, who's the first guy he's going to snap at? Because he will. Is it going to be one of his guys? Is it going to be Lazard, or is it going to be Cobb? Or is it going to be the young superstar? Or is it going to be, I mean, who's it going to be? Is that all right that I'm not all that concerned that they went 3 and out in a controlled scrimmage against the Carolina Panthers in early August?
Well, you should be very concerned, Jeff. That's concerning that you're not concerned. No, it's funny that we're even talking about this in
right?
one of the preseason.
Because I'm going to guess somewhere the Kansas City Chiefs and with whomever they scrimmage, they might have gone 3 and out too. And I'm going to guess the Buffalo Bills against whomever they scrimmage also might have, or maybe they score, but you don't know a damn thing about it. And maybe their quarterback was frustrated too, but this is Aaron Rodgers. This is a new team, and this is Hard Knocks. So with all due respect, understanding that the world revolves around the NFL, and way more so it revolves around Aaron Rodgers, pardon me for not losing my mind that they went 3 and out. Now, would I be a little concerned about the offensive line? Yeah, you better protect that dude. And I could see him getting a little cranky if he spends a lot of time on his back. But I'm going to watch this thing evolve before I pass a whole bunch of judgment.
There was one other thing that happened in practice that could have led to his chippiness, if you will, but apparently someone stepped on his toe when they were rushing him. And so if he was worried about breaking a toe or something like that, that might have set him off a little bit as well.
Meanwhile, same practice, same place, same time, same bat channel. Bryce Young, the rookie quarterback, marched the length of the field at a 2-minute drill, and they got a field goal against the Jets defensive starters. Here's your offensive rookie of the year. I mean, good for him. To me, that's way more significant. That the rookie, the other guy, marched his team against the Jets starters. To me, that's way more significant than, we went 3 and out on a goal. If I'm missing something, I'm listening. Tell me.
You're not missing anything.
All right. Rodgers, quote, I thought maybe we didn't have the same type of energy for whatever reason at the start of I don't know, maybe it's because the way you talk. You talk with no energy. They didn't have the same energy at the start of practice. Quote, I thought there were some good things, a lot of learning out there. I thought it was good to be out there against a different defense. I thought we handled the front pretty well in the run game. Pass game, there were some issues. End quote. All right. Look, man, I get it. I understand it. You're all watching it. We're all watching it. Plus, they're Hard Knocks. I got it. Talk to me when they're flying for real about how concerned I should be. But I understand. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers. Evidently, the guy playing behind him is doing all right. Jordan Love and the offensive starters are going to play in some capacity. Friday is today. Friday. What day is today? Today's Thursday. Sometimes I'm here for like 5 days a week for a long stretch now.
Yeah, those days they're tough.
Yeah, bear with me. I'm hearing pretty good things coming out of Packers camp about the love for Jordan Love. I'm hearing that Matt LaFleur likes the way he's playing. There's almost, as excited as the Jets players are to play with Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to say that the Packers players are that excited to not have him, but are you sensing there's a little something of, man, I'm glad that dude's gone and it's not all about him anymore? Do you guys sense that out of Packers camp?
It's definitely the right approach. It's backing up Jordan Love because he's done nothing wrong. He's been there. He's put in the work. He's had to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. There's nothing wrong with that. And the two most important people on that field, of course, offensive line protecting the quarterback, it's going to be Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. The guys that are going to take the most pressure off him.
I agree with you that he's done nothing wrong. I mean, this young man was put into a situation that was none of his doing. If he gets drafted by someone else, we already know what he's either a star or he's a bust by now, right? If he gets drafted by almost anybody else, he's a star, he's a bust, you know what he is, and he's made himself. But he's somehow been cast as a villain because he's the guy that got Aaron upset. No, he isn't. He didn't do a damn thing. He sat in the green room and heard his name called by the Green Bay Packers. He didn't do a damn thing. And by the way, find me one quote where he was disrespectful or disruptive while he's been in Green Bay. Find me one. Has he said anything? Not one thing have you heard Jordan Love say that could have, should have been taken as a shot at anybody that was disrespectful, that was out of line. Dude's been a soldier. Sat there, taken all the hits, hadn't played very much. Listen to how crappy he is. Now he's got his chance. Like, I don't know about you guys, and you know I've got a little bit of an affection for Jordan. He won the New Mexico Bowl MVP a few years ago in his sophomore year, and full disclosure, I'm the executive director of New Mexico Bowl, and so, so I got a little soft spot for him. So I'm rooting for him a little bit. But his story, like, what's not to root for?
His story is so similar to Aaron Rodgers.
Right?
You know, the way he came up, Aaron didn't say anything when they were dealing with Brett Favre.
Right.
He won over his locker room too. So, I mean, he's set up for success over there.
I think he's going to be better than people think.
I totally agree with that. I think I would put my money on that for sure.
Yeah, I think he's going to be better than people think. All right, 505-246-0610. You get football tonight. NFL this evening. You get Houston at New England. You get Minnesota at Seattle. NFL Network is where you're watching them. And, of course, once we start football, the Sports Animal is your home for the National Football League. Thursday nights and Sundays and Sunday nights and Monday nights, you want the NFL. You want 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports NFL. Animal. and the NFL. When we come back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Fairfield General. Hey, it's back to school time. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, it's back to school time. Things are hectic for parents and students, so calm things down. Make the call to On the Spot Automotive Detailing. One of my favorite times, period, is when On the Spot comes to me. They come to me where I am. It's usually at the office, and they detail my vehicle when it's convenient, where it's convenient. I get it, man. It's a hectic time of year. It's even more important than ever that they come to you. I don't know where their office is. It doesn't matter. They come to me. I'm in the office. You're working. You get a text. You go outside. Your vehicle is detailed. Looks, feels, smells like the day you took it off the lot, like it's brand new. Remember how much fun it was to drive your car when you first got it? It's what it's going to feel and look like. On the Spot offers a 10% discount to military and for teachers. Learn more and schedule online. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 294-7684 or visit hanswillerauto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Houston, New England at 5. Minnesota, Seattle at 8. Thursday Night Football, National Football League, Week 1 preseason. What's up? Good to be back. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. So the Bears will open the preseason on Saturday against the Titans. Are you guys convinced, and I guess we'll talk about this a little bit later, is Justin Fields their field general? Is he the guy? Does he take that step that everybody's that they're expecting him to take this year?
And this is one where you want to see the young guys out there, even if you think Justin Fields has all the talent in the world, which he does. He's running away from defenders in the secondary. What Chicago is looking for is for him to be the field general, be able to execute everything that you have to do to win at that level. And for Chicago, they put the pieces around him. They went through last year was pretty much for Justin Fields. It was like, just go get your reps. Like, go play. Don't worry about it. We're not a very good football team. Just go get comfortable playing NFL football. And now let's take the offense to another level this season.
He's going to start on Saturday, the preseason opener. There's not a lot of starting quarterbacks who are starting the preseason opener. But he will start the preseason opener for the Chicago Bears. This is their head coach, Matt Eberflus. Quote, when you're looking at the quarterback position, the operation is number one. Can we get in and out of the huddle crisp and execute the play if we have to run or pass or run, stuff going on? We got to make sure we look at that. Can he make all the protection calls that he needs to make? The adjustments, just the operation, that's what we're looking for. So that's why he's going to be out there. All right.
And that's the step. He cleans it up, and that dude is the best quarterback in that division.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not sure I buy that, but okay. What makes him the best quarterback in that division? Why is he better than Jared Goff or Kirk Cousins?
Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, they're the legit pure passers. You know, that part of their game could be better than Justin Fields. When you got a guy that if he becomes more confident, more in control with better weapons around him, making plays downfield in the passing game, knowing that, dude, rush for over 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most explosive player. Not just explosive, that would be the best quarterback in the division.
You feel that same way? I know you're big on Justin Fields. You think he's the best quarterback in that division?
Not currently, but I think he could be. I would, if I had to pick today, I'd probably pick Goff, just if you're asking me who's the best. But running for 1,100 yards is very impressive.
Big deal. It's a big deal. The disrespect for Kirk Cousins is unbelievable.
It is. I actually, it's funny. I talked to A. Marie about this yesterday, and he's a winner, and he has been for a long time.
Look at his numbers.
Exactly. Yeah, he is no slouch, and I don't know why he gets such a bad rap, to be honest.
How insane am I to tell you that I think there's a better chance he's the worst quarterback in that division than the best?
That's not insane.
No, not the worst. I mean, the fourth out of four. I'm not telling you he's worse than the backups.
When you say worst, though, are you saying worst record?
Well, I'm just saying, well, by the time we get to, I don't know, early December, I think there's a better chance that I'm saying I'll take Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and Kirk Cousins ahead of him than saying I'll take him ahead of all of them. No, I think there's a chance it goes either way, and the reality is it's somewhere in the middle, right? I don't think he's the best quarterback in that division. You guys think he's way better than I think he is. I think he's good, and I know Bear fans are just dying for it because they've never had that guy. I'm just not completely sold yet, and I think I think Jordan Love can be good. I don't know that he will. I know what I've gotten the other two guys. I watched Goff should be going into his prime right now, right? Goff should be getting better. I know he's not mobile like this guy, but I watched what he did with that offense. Everybody loves them. Kirk Cousins wins. I would argue that I think there's a better chance that he will be fourth best than number one. Now, I don't think he's going to be either.
Then he doesn't develop as a passer, and then that's why you're fourth best in that division.
But I would say this, though. If he's fourth best in that division, then that division might have the best quarterbacks in all divisions.
Okay. Who would give you a run at that? AFC North with Lamar and Burrow and Deshaun and Kenny Pickett?
I think there's a pretty big drop off right now with Pickett.
What about Rodgers and
Pickett
Josh
and Love
Allen?
are the same thing.
Yeah. Well, Pickett and Love are pretty close to the same thing.
At least we've seen Pickett play NFL games. And part of this is you're projecting.
Yeah.
There's always the what if. But if you're projecting a path for Justin Fields where they said, all right, you got your reps in last year. We let you run like crazy. Now become
a quarterback. Yeah, I think Pickett and Love are the same thing. Who would you take right now? You could have this guy for the next 4 years. Right now. Your guy, Justin Fields, you want Deshaun Watson?
Fields.
Justin Fields.
Just because he seems like a better human, I'd probably lean your way.
There might be something to that.
I mean, but tell me there's not an absolute realistic argument that by early October we're going, what were you saying? You want Fields over Deshaun? Like it could be that quick, right?
Oh, it could.
Deshaun Watson could become Deshaun Watson again, and you go, what are you saying? Remember 2 weeks ago you guys said you wanted that guy over this guy?
Yep.
Yeah, that could very easily happen.
I mean, AFC East. I got Rodgers and I got Josh Allen and I got Tua. I mean, I don't know. Is Mac Jones any different than Kenny Pickett or those guys?
Yes.
Why? Because he's got 2 years instead of one?
We also led a team to the postseason.
Yeah.
As a rookie.
AFC East got pretty good quarterbacks, don't they? Yeah. Actually, that's a good question. Which division has the best quarterbacks top to bottom? Is it the AFC East? Josh Allen, Tua, Aaron Rodgers, and Mac Jones. Mac Jones is your weak link. Daniel Jones, Justin, or Jalen Hurts, Dak, and Sam Howell. People are telling me Sam Howell looks great in camp.
It's what you're saying about Chicago is a Washington's feeling. Is there's a young guy that's exciting.
Yep.
Everyone's like, remember Sam Howell? He could have been a first-round pick before that season.
Yep. Yep. That's actually an interesting question. Which division has the best quarterbacks, top to bottom? You like the AFC North? It's Lamar, and it's Joe Burrow, and it's Deshaun Watson, it's Kenny Pickett. What were you just saying? The NFC North? Goff, Cousins, Love, and Fields? I don't think so. Tell me, so you guys love Fields so much because he's really mobile, and I give you that. What have you seen him out of being an NFL passer that makes you think he's going to become that guy?
That you just bet that players can get better.
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
They invested in an offense around him. DJ Moore, they paid their tight end Cole Kmet.
He's got weapons now. No, there's no more reasons.
That's all right. They went through last year, got it out of the way. He was doing a lot of things running the football because there's not much else for him to do. And now it's use your athleticism, become a better passer. That's what all these guys, Lamar Jackson, all of them, is you have something special. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, use your athleticism. But if you want to win at the high level, if you want to put your team in position to win a playoff game, you got to become a better passer. And I think Justin Fields can, because one thing with Justin Fields is he can make the throws. He's not one of those guys you look at and go, oh, he's got such an awkward motion and just a runner. No, he's an athlete. and he can make the throws. And that's why they're talking about, all right, he needs these reps now, not just out there, hike, run around like crazy, hike, get the football out.
All right, we come back. Running back injuries, and there's injuries in camp, and there's running backs on the market. What does this all mean moving forward? Cardinals got another injury in the offensive backfield. This could be a long year in Arizona. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Boost your imagination.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Go. What's too early for a fantasy draft, you asked me the other day? I got one on Saturday. Isn't that too early? Don't you find that too early?
I mean, at least some games have been played. I do still say it's too early, but at least you have some information to work on.
I mean, I guess. I got, I was talking to JJ about keeper. It's a keeper league, and I got last pick. Dead last. And they're like, they were hitting me the other day, well, you could have got on the Zoom and you could have done it. And they picked the reverse order, so my name was the first one that came out. And I'm like, bleep you guys. That means I'm first. I'm like, I couldn't jump on.
Is this the NBA?
I'm a Taylor Swift. I can't jump on. And yeah.
So
by the way.
Is that a snake draft, though?
It is.
See, I don't mind going 12-13.
14-15, you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in a 12-team league, so I automatically go there. But yeah, 14-15,
I'm going against my wisdom, too. I'm probably going to keep a quarterback. I got Lamar.
What round?
Well, so you just get to keep one guy, and you get one keeper.
Oh, okay.
And then that's where I'm going to go. I hit a really cool event the other day. Addie and I went to the finals of the U.S. Open of surfing.
Oh, that is awesome.
I was showing JJ pictures. We walked, so it's a huge event. We took my mom out on, my mom's 86, by far the oldest person out there. Like, come on, brah, right? Down in Huntington Beach, but we literally got right down, our feet were in the water, watching the finals. I was just showing JJ some pictures. Events are cool. That was actually really, so we saw the men's longboard and then the women's and men's shortboard finals, and we just watched them. It was unbelievable.
I can imagine. So do you bring chairs? You just set up, or
you can. People, we just stood literally, like, people are. So they've got a screen up, like a big screen. It's broadcast worldwide. The pier is completely packed. People on the pier, and then the beach is just every man for themselves. And so we literally walked right to the front. We're standing next to a photographer and had our feet in the water and watched surfing, brah.
That is so awesome. Was Kelly Slater there?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep. Yeah, you had a weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, dude, there was a lot going on, man.
Good for you.
There was Taylor Swift and the U.S. Open to surf and a few colleges here and there. I got to show you. I was in Heritage Hall at USC on, I don't know, whatever day it was. I got to show you. So do you know Heritage Hall is where USC has all their Heisman trophies, right? So there's Carson Palmer's and there's Marcus Allen's and do you know what they've done with the space that Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy used to be? Any idea?
No, but I bet it's interesting.
There's an empty display booth. Empty. Like there's all these Heisman trophies, and then there's just this one, and it's just sitting in Heritage Hall, this empty podium.
But it
has no signage on it. It has it's the most bizarre thing. All their national championships, it's an amazing place, right? And you go in and you can take a picture with O.J. Simpson's. O.J.'s still there. Marcus Allen's, right? All these. And then there's just this empty little pedestal because they're all sitting on they're about, 4 feet off the ground. And it's crazy, isn't it?
That is wild.
And I don't know what the right thing would be. Like, what should you do with it?
I actually love that. Just having the blank podium, that makes a statement. I really dig that.
Is that kind of a middle finger?
Oh,
it kind of is, right?
Yeah, it's a great one, too.
Yeah. All the tradition at SC was insane. It was,
speaking of Heisman's trophies, former winners, Have you seen The Untold with Johnny Manziel?
I have not seen, so I've been reading everything about it.
Oh my goodness, you need to watch that.
So they make him a hero, huh?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No?
No, I mean, it's very real, and he's very real about what was actually going on.
Were you a Johnny Manziel guy? Are you?
I am not. I did not go for the Money Manziel thing. He to me he rubbed me the wrong way.
I called that one from the beginning, right? I was right on one of them. Like, I was dead wrong. I thought Matt Leinart was going to be a really good quarterback coming out of college. Manziel was one I just said, I just don't get it. I don't see the talent. I just know he's not going to be an NFL quarterback, and then he doesn't have the work ethic. I kind of called that one, right?
Yeah, he did.
The work ethic, man. Wait till you see that. He didn't read the playbook, didn't practice. He was partying for real.
So, do you feel better or worse about him? Like, do you like him more or less?
I actually like him more because he was real honest about some of the bad stuff.
All right.
And
he took responsibility for it?
He was open and honest about it. I taking responsibility might be a bit of a stretch, but he owned up to a lot of it.
Well,
he talked about the autograph deal, which I didn't really know much about.
The autograph deal. I'm not sure. I remember the autograph deal.
So he kind of got caught up in his second year. He only lost half a game over this, but he was essentially going to Florida, and he had kind of like this brokered deal with this autograph company. So he would set up in a hotel room like once a month and just have a line of people come through for autographs. He'd make like $30,000 a month.
Really?
Yeah, I had never heard that before.
I'm not sure I knew that.
And he only lost half a game on that.
How much should he have lost?
I mean, at the time...
What was the issue? Like, what was he doing wrong?
Well, it's funny. The way they were able to spin it was that he was essentially running a business, I guess. But this was before NIL, so he's basically making money off his name.
Okay. I thought this was when he was with the Browns.
No, this was during college, yeah.
Okay, all right, that's very different. Yeah, then that's a problem. Yeah, then that is... Yeah.
Then we have something to talk about.
All right, yeah. Now that makes way more sense to me. I'm not sure I knew that.
It's interesting because they really did challenge NIL and not getting paid, and that was like kind of their big point. The other big thing that came of it, he did not come from oil money, and they put it out there that he did, and they kind of actually used that to leverage like why he lived the way he did.
But they had money.
I mean, they
middle class money or like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely worth watch.
All right. I didn't catch any of that. All right, 505-246-0610. We got a lot of NFL stuff to do today. Update you on the latest in conference talk. When we come back, though, the U.S. women's national team, how much did you guys get into this? They're slammed by the Netherlands star for their big mouths. Doesn't feel like the rest of the women on the world stage are feeling all too bad for the U.S. women's national team either. I mean, you got the other people talking about their big mouths. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports NFL.
Pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As LaCueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman. Quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the LaCueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
There is a good amount of young talent on the U.S. women's side, but there was not the same edge. There was not the same belief. There was not the same leadership in this team. And the rest of the world has invested. The rest of the world has gotten better. And when you lose the edge, when you think that, oh, there's all these stars on our chest, so we're just going to walk to the World Cup final, you're going to get knocked out.
So many times in DC, I think you've heard this too, JJ. I know you have. Over the years, I hear every time there's success or there's a World Cup, wow, this is going to help soccer in America. This is going to help soccer. And I think soccer, without an argument, has grown exponentially over the last decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, right? So when American teams do well, it's going to help soccer. Does this hurt soccer, or is this just a bummer for that national team?
It's a bummer for that national team.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Messi coming has more of an
Good
impact.
God, is that right?
Yeah, I think actually timing wise, it probably worked out in a way where the Messi news is so much bigger that they're not going to take a hit on not doing well in the World Cup.
Yeah, nobody's not liking Messi, right? Because you don't know where he stands politically. He buys sneakers too, right?
Everyone buys sneakers.
Yeah.
The famous Jordan line.
Yeah. What was the reaction around here? Was there any? There wasn't.
Part of the deal is it's 4:00 in the morning, so it's just hard to watch.
Yeah, I think that's right too. Well, see if it happens at 4:00 in the morning. Nobody sees it anyway, so it didn't matter.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I told you here on The Sports Animal, your home for the National Football League. Looking forward to having games on Thursday night, on Sundays, on Sunday nights, and on Monday nights, and we're in it. It's going to be a long year, I think, for the Cardinals. Running back Marlon Mack, he signed with them on Friday. He's out the rest of the season. Achilles injury. Midway through the practice on Tuesday, tore his Achilles. He did not come back. He will not come back. It's brutal news. They're without Kyler Murray, right? For how long, we don't know. Is that like the biggest indefinite that we've got in the NFL right now? Like how long is he out for?
That's the one where there's not a legit timetable, because it makes sense just to let this one be slow.
Because they're not good.
Yeah.
So James Conner's their running back. They had Mack come in for some backup. They have somebody named Keontae Ingram behind him, Corey Clement, Tyson Williams. Now, look, I'm going to guess one of these guys is going to be pretty good. I'm going to guess one of these guys is going to be on your fantasy team by week 3. Just telling you.
Yes.
You won't draft Keontae Ingram or Corey Clement or Tyson Williams because you don't know who they are. And Keontae Ingram, the 6th-round pick out of USC, is questionable right now. And Corey Clement, in his 7th season out of Wisconsin, his 3rd string. And then there's Tyson Williams out of BYU. But one of those guys, but they're just not going to be good. This is going to be a tough year. How much is this going to come on the – would you want to be a head coach in this situation? We always talk about what's a good job, what's not a good job. Where's a guy have an opportunity? There's only 32 of these jobs, so everybody wants one. They want to be a head coach. But, I mean, when you're set up to not succeed, and I got a bad feeling about what's going to happen in Arizona this year.
What you hope is that everyone understands that.
Well,
is that they know that this year it's about hopefully finding some pieces that you can move forward with on the roster, attacking the draft next year, and then, all right, Kyler Murray, what do you got left? He's still a difference maker in this league. Can he get back to the postseason?
And when? You know, there was a minute, and it wasn't long ago, Kyler Murray was one of those borderline elite guys, right?
And even, I think, for him this year, late in the season, get on the football field, play some games. When he's fully healthy, that'll work. And then next year, it's all in. It's like you have your quarterback. You're probably going to have a pretty high draft pick as well to start adding to that roster and then see what you got.
Are they the worst team in the NFL? If you said right now, who's the worst team? Like, who would be your front runner for number 1 overall pick?
They just don't have the skill position players.
Where else are you looking at a team that go, wow, they're really not going to be good? Because I don't know that I have one. I know people are telling me the Raiders, and I think the Raiders are going to be a little better than people think. I don't know that I think they're going to be really good. I just think they're going to be a little better than people think. Indianapolis, I may struggle. Yes. And Indianapolis was a team a year ago right now where, like, look out, they could win that South. Look out, they're really dangerous. Look out, they have Matt Ryan. Oh, wait, was last year the Matt Ryan year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you sit here right now and said, who are your favorites for the first overall pick, the worst record in the NFL, who you got?
Be Arizona.
You got anybody else with them?
Arizona, I love the rookie quarterbacks, but I do think one of those teams could struggle.
Indianapolis
or Houston.
Yeah, Houston. Yeah. I think Tampa Bay might be right for a fall off.
Because you just get zero quarterback play.
I
Between
think
Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask, that's a 3-win team.
It may, maybe one of them becomes good, but I think trade deadline, you got two really good receivers there, and there's going to be someone looking for receivers at Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, are those guys that somebody's looking to acquire.
You have to put Washington in that conversation then.
See, here's my deal with Washington, and I agree with you to some respect. It's simply because of quarterback play, right?
Yeah.
Because I think defensively they should be good. Chase Young's back. He's healthy. I think defensively they should be good. I love their top two receivers. I think McLaurin and Dotson are really good. I think Brian Robinson became a good running back last year. They have Gibson behind him. Their line should be all right. Like, I think they're so much more complete than what I think I see in Arizona, Indianapolis, or Houston. It's 100% about quarterback play there. Right?
Yeah, and Tampa Bay is a team that I think they misjudged who they were. Were they shocked that Tom Brady wasn't playing quarterback? Because if you want to talk about rosters that you like, the Buccaneers have dudes at every level on that team that are very good. They have nothing at quarterback. And then you say, well, what was there? Well, should they have been in the Derek Carr sweepstakes? Should they have thrown something out at Aaron Rodgers? And I know we were joking last year about it. Just make that the retirement home. Because if Aaron Rodgers is quarterback of this team, are we not talking about them as one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the NFC?
DC, when Brady went down there, I said Tampa Bay should never have to draft a young quarterback. They do Brady, and the timing was perfect. They did Brady for a few years, then Rodgers should have gone down there. Then it'll be time. At that time, I said Russell Wilson, but they should like all people go down to Florida to retire, right? They go down for the last few years. They should just be the retirement home. Get guys on their back to last couple of years. Bring in Rodgers, whoever's next. Who's the next guy coming up on that? I don't even know who. Stafford probably, right? Just bring up guys and just be the place for the last couple of years. Come on through and keep winning in Tampa Bay. Don't draft quarterbacks. Come to Florida. Come to Florida. Be a quarterback. Come on down. You'll love it down here. We got early bird specials. You can go get the salmon, right? Just come on down. It's perfect.
I mean, it sounds good. It's tax-free zone.
Where do older East Coast people go to retire?
It's usually Florida.
They go to Florida. Come on, Aaron. Come on down to Florida. That's what I always thought. I thought that would be a great idea for them. But instead they got Baker Mayfield. So good luck with Baker Mayfield, I imagine.
Well, I mean, he's about to retire, right?
That's a really, 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 really good point. Really good point. When we come back, the latest timeline on Joe Burrow's return. And coming up at 8:30 this morning, we will do Red Zone and do the top topics in the National Football League. We'll tackle those as well. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
All right. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC. We're going to hear from Riley Smith, the Boise State tight end, at 9:30 this morning. Really interesting conversation. Was he a quarterback in Florida, right?
It was.
And now he's a
being a tight end.
Talk about the Boise State mystique with him. We're going to talk about the whole, what is Boise State and what are they all about, and are they still that, and the brand, and his thought on all the realignment talks. That'll be at 9:30 this morning. Was it yesterday? Henry Ruggs, the Raiders wide receiver, got sentenced to 3 to 10 years for the fatal DUI. He was driving. He was 160 miles an hour. Caused a crash that killed a young lady named Tina Tintor and her dog. Their dog's name was Max. He did not get the Max. Ruggs read from a statement to the family, to the parents of family of Ms. Tintor. I sincerely apologize for pain and suffering, he said. What did you feel about the sentence, 3 to 10 years?
I don't know if I've seen something with that wide of a gap. 3 to 10.
Well, OJ got 9 to 30, right?
Well, 9 as a base to 30, okay, but like 3 to 10 for that, it's kind of light on the 3-year end.
It feels, for killing someone, it feels light on the 3-year end. You see OJ Simpson has weighed in this morning?
No, I did not, but I am interested to hear what he said.
All right, OJ weighed in this morning. OJ feels that Henry Ruggs got off light.
OJ feels he got off light?
OJ, here is OJ Simpson this morning on the tweeter, the OJ Simpson, on Henry Ruggs' suspension, on his sentence of 3 to 10 years. OJ.
Hey, X-World, it's me, yours truly. Now, I know I went to college on a football scholarship, but somehow this math is not adding up to me. You're driving a car at roughly 160 miles an hour on a public street and end up killing a girl and her dog, and you get 3 to 10 years. You go to a hotel room that you're invited to retrieve your own personal stolen property I now have because it was ruled to be mine by the state of California. And you get 9 to 33 years. Same courthouse, same city, same state. I don't know. Somehow it just does not add up to me. I'm just saying.
OJ on law and justice and what's right. I'm just saying. I know I went to school on a football scholarship, but somehow this math is not adding up.
You got the experience.
Yeah, he knows. 9 to 33. Thank you, OJ. He'll be your legal commentator from now on. It's OJ Simpson.
We're bringing OJ Simpson to discuss the matters here live. OJ.
Yeah, now to discuss the sentence on Henry Ruggs, OJ Simpson. Yeah, I know I went to school on a math scholarship. It's a young man with so much promise. I don't know. I just hope people take notice. I hope that some good comes out of that. Like when I saw that, like we all did, like, wow, really? We see knucklehead stuff. You see knucklehead stuff and say, gosh, it could have been worse, right? Somebody could have died. We see stuff all the time. This guy was intoxicated, driving under the influence, speeding. The Georgia stuff, the speeding, right? And then that young lady from Georgia dies. The assistant, the graduate assistant, I believe is what it was. And we always sit around and say, gosh, so lucky. It could have been worse. So and then it was worse. I just hope that somewhere along the line it does some good and people think twice. And I probably know better, and I probably know that it won't happen that way. So All right, when we come back, it is time for Red Zone. DC reads us. He offers us 4 topics, and we'll respond to those in regards to the National Football League. Any teaser on that? Anything people should know about what's coming up in Red Zone?
That they should tune in and listen closely.
Well, then tune in and listen closely. That's coming up next. Albuquerque's known for a lot of things, right? A lot of great things, but sadly, safety is not one of them, not security either. Aaron Jones opened up IPS, International Protective Service, years ago to protect homes and businesses all over Albuquerque. I trust Aaron to protect my home. IPS comes by every single day. When I'm out of town, they come by a bunch of times a day. If there's a package dropped off, they'll pick it up off the porch so the bad guys don't get it. They keep the bad guys away and protect what you've worked so hard to build. But now Aaron's looking for your help. If you're a former or retired police officer, if you have military or security experience and you want to make our city a better place to live, he's asking you to fill out an application at ipsglobal.com. They've got world-class professionals who will train you to handle almost any situation. You'll work for a great company, and you'll be doing great things for our city. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420, or you can go online at ipsglobal.com. Join IPS if you want to make Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
Two football games tonight in the National Football League. You get to watch them, and it's preseason. But, I mean, I don't know. When we sit around and say, I miss football, I guess there's not too much football then. New England at home for Houston and Minnesota at Seattle. That's what you get. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. An AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff, JJ, DC, it is time to enter the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right. Former Chiefs and Vikings star Jared Allen is helping coach the Broncos pass rushers. Jared Allen's been nominated for induction to the Hall of Fame over the last 3 years, but I'm not sure he's an actual Hall of Famer. So I ask you guys, is Jared Allen a Hall of Famer?
Pretty close. Yeah, I think eventually he is. What is it, 132 sacks, 136 sacks, forced 32 fumbles, played 11 years in the NFL. I thought he was really, really good. He had a year in Minnesota in 2011 where he had 22 sacks. How many games did he play? 16. 22 sacks is bonkers. Is it a no-brainer Hall of Famer? No, but I'm going to guess as you look at the ballots and go through it, I think the impact he made on those teams, I'm going to say, yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
No.
Okay.
You have to talk yourself into it. It's a yes or no question. Are you a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? Not because you've been on the ballot for 7 years or not because you're about to die in 3 years. Yes or no?
Yeah,
Jared Allen
works.
I know, but that's the problem with it.
But
because that's why you have these Hall of Fame classes with 9, 10, 11 people.
Right.
Just because Jared Allen was really good, but not everyone is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but I think that's how it works, right? Because it is the way it is. That's why I answered it.
Not the way it is for me.
But I answered it in that context. I answered the way it is, not the way it is for you. I answered the way it is.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
All right, over in Independence, Missouri, home of the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs management has recently come out and said that Chris Jones deserves to get paid, but they haven't inked a deal. So the clock is ticking for Jones and the Chiefs. Who blinks first and when?
They're going to get this deal done. Their general manager has talked about it. This isn't a Tyreek Hill situation where they're moving on from him. They understand that having one of the best defensive tackles in the league means more to that team than a wide receiver because you have Patrick Mahomes. They'll figure it out. He has 1 year left on his deal. They'll extend him, and he'll be back.
100% they get it figured out. Who blinks first? Probably the team. They're going to give him some more money and figure out how to get him done and get him into camp. But they realize how good he is. They realize how important he is. They realize how important it is for them to get him in. So who will blink first? I believe the team will blink first, but I think we all agree that he's going to be there when they start the season.
3rd and goal.
All right, back to the running backs. Kareem Hunt recently visited New Orleans and Indianapolis, but left both of them without a deal. The Colts did make an offer, but the two sides couldn't come to an agreement. So I got to ask you, how does this impact the other available running backs?
I don't know that I think it does. I think there's going to be spots. You saw, the spot open, another Achilles injury in Arizona. I think there's going to be teams that want running backs. It's really, when are these guys, whether it's Dalvin Cook, Kareem Hunt, whoever else is left on the market, going to realize, okay, if I want to play, I'm going to make 2, 3, 4 million as opposed to 10, 11, 12 million. And it is I don't know, is 4 million better than no million? And so I don't know that I think Kareem Hunt is going to affect the market. Kareem Hunt's going to affect him and whatever team he signs.
These guys know they're not getting a franchise tag deal, which is $10 to $11 million in 1 year. For Kareem Hunt, he is just absolutely sitting out going, all right, who is going to offer me the biggest contract? He doesn't care if it's a good football team or if he's going out there to win. It's about the bag for Kareem Hunt. Do you. And just hold out, even if it's $500,000, an extra $1 million, that's money in the bank.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, in San Francisco, the 49ers are saying that Brock Purdy is healthy and ready to go. What does this mean for Trey Lance, and is he even a 49er at the trade deadline?
That means he's a backup, and he'll probably beat out Sam Darnold for the number 2. I think he's a 49er at the trade deadline. I do. Because I don't know that I think that there's anybody who's looking at Trey Lance saying, I need a quarterback at the trade deadline, and he's the difference maker. Right? You just haven't seen enough. I think at some point, he probably beats out Sam Darnold. Now, is he a 49er next year? It's a whole nother story, right? But, I mean, it means Brock Purdy's the starter. And Trey Lance is fighting to try to get on the field.
What it means is Trey Lance is your emergency quarterback this season.
3, huh?
QB3. Yeah. They're going to keep him on the roster. If he really does impress in preseason, does someone get anxious and put some draft capital up? I think that's best case scenario for the 49ers. Who knows? Because what calf pops up in a couple weeks? If Trey Lance is looking good, does someone get anxious and just want to bring him in as a QB2 or someone to fill a stopgap? But to me, it's emergency quarterback, Trey Lance.
That's red zone. That's our red zone. We got into the end zone. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets didn't. And we'll do that every single day, different times here on the Sports Animal, and not just during football season. I mean, that's kind of a year-round thing. We will we'll do that every single day. We talk about Aaron Rodgers, the frustration, and kind of the NFL story today is the Jets sensing Aaron's frustration. Oh my goodness, Aaron's upset because they scrimmaged with they had a practice with the Panthers, a joint practice. And the offensive line wasn't great, and the practice ended with the Jets' offense going 3 and out in a 2-minute drill. And so people are losing their mind. Oh, Aaron's upset. And what's going to happen? And your mic's open. Is that what that is? Mm-hmm. Okay. And my take on this whole thing earlier, and I think you agree with me, is pardon me for not getting alarmed. not losing my
It's
mind.
nothing to be alarmed about, but it's a good talking point when we discuss, all right, what is camp for? Like, what is preseason for?
100%.
Now it's time to turn up the heat. You've had your fun.
That's right.
You've been like, wow, I can't believe I'm playing with Aaron Rodgers.
That's
I'm
right.
going to tell my son I got to play with Aaron Rodgers. Like, all right,
Now it's
you
time to
got
go to
that
work.
out of your system.
Yeah.
Now let's lock in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like,
what I think this is all about. I
Absolutely.
100%.
I'm right there with you.
And if there's some sense of frustration from Rodgers, and we'll see it next week on Hard Knocks, and maybe I haven't seen Hard Knocks this week, but I think you're going to see a change. I think, first of all, everything Aaron Rodgers does is calculated. Okay, I think the first part was all about making everybody comfortable with me and bringing me in, and this is a perfect opportunity for Rodgers to ratchet up the intensity, to raise the expectations of these young guys, to raise the expectations of what they're going to be. I'm not going to lose my mind because they didn't score on a 2-minute drill in August in a close scrimmage or an open scrimmage or a joint scrimmage, whatever the hell it was, with the Carolina Panthers. It doesn't matter. It'll matter if in September they don't score on a 2-minute drill against the Buffalo Bills. That's when it'll matter. But I think everything he does is calculated, don't you?
Absolutely. And this is the progression of going from all the hype, happy-go-lucky, let's feel good, let's change the culture, let's set a tone, to, all right, do you want to live up to these expectations? Do you want to be a team that's winning playoff games? This is what we have to do.
100%. And so it'll change a little bit. All right, boys, let's get a little sharper. Now we played against someone. Now we got to be a little bit better. To me, that's 100% what this is all about. And I'm not concerned about it. I think Aaron Rodgers knows what he's doing. I think Robert Saleh, their head coach, is giving him the absolute carte blanche to do whatever he needs to do. And if he didn't give it, Aaron took it. Right? Because I think Robert Saleh realizes how good he's got it. Robert Saleh, the head coach, who might have even been on the hot seat a year ago, realizes this guy might be the life preserver for his head coaching career. Right? He realizes how big this is. Like, whenever Aaron no, seriously.
Robert Saleh is like, man, if Aaron Rodgers can do this for Nathaniel Hackett, just think what he could do for me if we're good.
But 100% honest, right?
And this is too, with Aaron Rodgers and trying to read between the tea leaves and, watching this on Hard Knocks, the way he's reacting, like, there's got to be a sense inside of him too, knowing that this is all on him.
Yep.
Like this, he hasn't been good in the postseason. Last year was a disaster expectation-wise in Green Bay. Like, you got to be feeling that pressure internally as well, even when you're kind of the happy-go-lucky at the end, I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame guy. Like, you need to go do something, man, because the end of your career, we don't have a good taste of Aaron Rodgers right now.
Well, here's the other piece of this, because I can't agree with you more. I think legacy building wise, this is so big for him. And who's he always going to be compared to? Never going to live up to it, but who's the other great quarterback of this era?
Tom Brady.
Okay. What did Tom Brady do in his second act? What did Tom Brady do when he left his longtime team and go down? I forget. Did he win a Super Bowl?
I think he did.
He won a Super Bowl at age 42. Rodgers, what, 39? 38?
38.
Okay. I think there, and by the way, Aaron Rodgers has won one Super Bowl in his career. One. I 1,000% think you're right. And very few people hit on this. That Aaron's feeling this is a big opportunity to enhance, not cement. His legacy is still good. He's still going to be one of the best quarterbacks ever, but he's won one. That's why he went here. He thinks this roster is better than Green Bay. He thinks he's got a chance to win. And I think he sees how important it is. So I think this low-key, happy-go-lucky, let's get acquainted thing is going to ratchet up and ratchet up and ratchet up. And look, boys and girls, I mean, just be careful. Because, and I've said this before, and so have you guys, they open with the Browns, the Panthers. That's not right. They open with the Bills and the Cowboys, the Patriots, to the Chiefs. I mean, if they start out 1-3, hell, if they start out 2-2, you see a whole different Aaron Rodgers than the guy you've watched the last few weeks.
You know what he's going to tell you, Jeff?
Relax.
Relax.
He's going to tell me relax.
Relax.
No, I know. And he might not be wrong. How relaxed is New York media? How relaxed is Jet fan? The most unrelaxed group of people you know. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there.
No-hitter in baseball last night. The opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. Little no in Philadelphia last night. A guy who just got there, made his second start. Michael Lorenzen threw the 14th no-hitter in Phillies history. It was pretty good. You watch any of that? 124 pitches. Not often a guy gets to throw 124 pitches. They just got it from Detroit right before the deadline. And it was one of those where the manager said, I told him, you're up on pitches. I'll give you 20 more, but how much do you let him go? How much do you let a guy go? And this, you acquired him to be your horse down the stretch. You required a guy to be there and help you get into the playoffs. You're sitting there right now, 10.5 games out of first place, but you're fighting for the wild card. You're trying to get into a wild card situation where you are leading the wild card. Here's a guy that you're going to rely on. How tough is that decision, you think, as a manager?
It's got to be real tough, but if the guy's throwing the way he's throwing and says he wants to stay in, I'd let him stay in.
Where are you on that?
That's also a feel of the moment. How much is he working? Not just the pitch count, but is he getting some easy outs?
What's his command? Yeah.
Is he getting ground outs? Is he getting some help from his defense? He's not running that pitch count out just because he ends up striking every one out. You got to have a good feel. 124, it's a high number, but it's not crazy. And you just see what it meant to that team and what it meant to him after the fact. Good job.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I always think, is throwing another 20 pitches going to really kill a guy?
You would hope not. Especially if you're talking about your workhorse.
Well, and to JJ's point, if he still has command, and he did, I'm going to let him go. I know how special it is, and then to watch that moment, and that locker room was close with a guy who'd been there for a week and a half, and that meant a lot. To me, that kind of stuff is worth taking that risk. That, boy, am I going to blow out his elbow because he threw an extra 15 pitches?
Yeah, that is definitely a good way to bring a locker room together. That footage afterwards, you saw that was a team.
Yeah, it was terrific. No, it was absolutely terrific. So, all right. When we come back, we got NFL tonight. Buy stock in this rookie quarterback. Which rookie quarterback? We got one of the best telling you buy stock in him because he looks good. You got your draft coming up. I'll tell you who it is and who said it. It's got a lot of credit behind it. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
It's an NFL world. You get it tonight. 2 games tonight. Houston, New England, Minnesota, Seattle, if those are your teams. Even if they're not, I'm going to guess you're going to tune in and watch you a little NFL, aren't you? What will you watch? Will you watch, I don't know if it's pennant race baseball yet. Is August pennant race yet? It kind of is.
In 18 days.
In 18 days? That's when it is. Or on the 28th of August. Or is it, or are you going to watch NFL preseason?
I am very interested in seeing the Seahawks, so I'll definitely tune into at least the first drive of that one.
I'll catch a little of that, too. I agree with you. NFL had a record 82 games inside the most 100-watched telecasts in the United States in 2022. Sports Business Journal put that out. 7 of the world's 10 most valuable sports franchises are NFL franchises, according to Sportico. So Cowboys are the most valuable at $9.2 billion, 2.16 more than the second most, the Giants. People watch the NFL. 82 out of the 100 top broadcasts were NFL football games. It's insane. And you're going to watch it tonight. And that's why everybody's watching it. All right, here's a quarterback to put your money on, to put stock in. If you listen to a guy who knows quarterbacks, would you say Aaron Rodgers knows quarterbacks?
There's a thing or two.
All right. So Aaron Rodgers is a little cranky with his team, but he liked the guy on the other side, Carolina, Bryce Young. Quote Aaron Rodgers, "We share an agent, so I've known about him for a long time. I loved watching him in college. I like his demeanor. I like his movement. I like the way he throws. I trust a guy like Adam Thielen. Him and I have been buddies for a long time, and he raves about him, so I think Carolina is in good hands." I don't know if you know any Carolina Panthers fans, do you? Are there any?
They're sprinkled in.
All right. Do you know it? Do you know a Carolina Panther fan? I'm not sure. Like, we all know. If I said here's a team, you would almost know a fan of almost every team, right? You got a buddy who's a Bills fan. You got a buddy who's a Jets fan. Oh, I know this dude who's a Seahawks fan. Do you know any Panther fans?
I had this one friend in middle school.
Really?
Yeah, but they're few and far between. You're right. You never hear people.
Do you know one?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Good buddy of mine in our fantasy football league.
All right. I probably know one, don't I? I know Bengals fans. Bengals fans are way more common than I realized once they were in the Super Bowl. It's like, damn, they came out of nowhere. Freaking Bengals fans. I mean, easy Bengals fans because they were playing the Rams. All right, so you trust him? Of the rookie quarterbacks. So Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. I think we believe that Bryce Young is in the best situation, correct?
That is correct.
All right. So does that mean he's going to have the best rookie year of those three?
I really like this quarterback class. And you have to understand one of them probably going to fail. Just the way it is. But the ability of these three guys. I think it could be a tough year in Indianapolis, but Anthony Richardson is such a dynamic athlete that he's going to make some plays and wow you enough that you realize that's why you're hitching your wagon to this guy.
Okay.
Hopefully he can be Josh Allen 2.0.
My fear is he's in a bad spot.
The one, and with Bryce Young, he has the best awareness of these guys. He's had to develop it because we've never seen anything like Bryce Young. He is small.
Respect?
He is so small.
Smaller than
it's what the last one where Doug Flutie, like that.
Well,
size.
Manziel was small and he didn't make it.
But Manziel,
no, really, right?
Yeah, but Manziel had nowhere near
this talent.
The game.
I agree with
like
that.
the awareness.
I
like
agree
Manziel
with
was
that.
just like he's a jumping bean. He's just, I'm here around making plays. Yeah, you can do that at Texas A&M.
I can't agree with you more.
Can't do that in the NFL. And the one thing at least Bryce Young still does is he wins in the pocket.
I'm worried about the situation in Indianapolis. I just think he's set up to fail there. I don't know that I love their receivers. You got a running back who doesn't want to be there and may not. I don't know that I love their offensive line. Like, there's nothing about Indianapolis I like right now. I worry about him. Can I go on a limb and say I think it's going to be C.J. Stroud? So I think DeMeco Ryans, while a defensive guy, I think he's going to start turning around what happens there. And while, again, I believe that Carolina is way more set, I think they got more weapons. I mean, they got a running game. Nico Collins is nice. He's got a veteran receiver in Houston, the C.J. Stroud, and Robert Woods. Dalton Schultz is a tight end who I think is a pretty good security blanket. It's not like I feel that C.J. Stroud has nothing around him. I think they've improved what they're doing offensively. Now, I don't think they're going to win a ton of games. What if I went on a limb and just try to say something else and say I think C.J. Stroud's going to maybe outperform Bryce Young?
I don't think that's too far-fetched. Just looking at their depth chart, they have a really good running back in Dameon Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
They have a really good tight end in Dalton Schultz. Robert Woods is really good. I think many people probably underrate him, but I think he's got some pieces.
Because he's coming off that injury with the Rams. He never fully came back last year.
Right. Yeah, that's recency bias. But, I think he has some really good weapons. And I love when you have a coach that's kind of maybe not what people expected. So a recent former player, defensive guy, I bet he has a way with that locker room where they trust him. They play hard for him, and they are set up. I could definitely see this. I don't think that's far-fetched at all to say Houston ends up being better than Carolina.
I see your face. You're not buying it.
I'm buying it because C.J. Stroud was my QB1 in the draft.
He was. Yeah.
I really like these guys. Now, someone is... I can see Anthony Richardson having the toughest season just because, as you've laid it out, they alienated their best player on offense. That they're like, this 24-year-old Jonathan Taylor's got an MVP vote. He's not worth figuring out keeping here with our rookie quarterback. Nope. Who's a wide receiver you want? Indianapolis right now.
Pittman, maybe? Is he right?
Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
Is solid.
He's solid, but is he a number one? I have a hard time thinking of him.
But who's the number one on any of these teams we're talking about? Carolina or
Nico Collins or
Houston.
Who's Carolina's?
Michael Pittman's the best of all those guys we're talking about.
Michael Pittman's better than Nico Collins, I think. Yeah. And as far as Carolina, I mean, you're talking about Adam Thielen or DJ Chark, right?
So hopefully he can develop a nice. If you're Anthony Richardson. No, all right, who's your security blanket going to be? Figure out when Michael Pittman is on the field. But what Houston has done, too, is they've spent some money the last couple years.
Yeah.
And while the skill position players were not wowed by them, you just got C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. Like franchise linchpins.
And Dameon Pierce was terrific last year.
Yeah. Another running back we're talking about where you can find these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where they found Dameon Pierce. Do you? I mean, if I said to you, Dameon Pierce came from where did he play college football? Would you know without looking?
No.
Nor would I. But Dameon Pierce was a 4th-round pick out of Florida. And all he did last year was run for 939 yards. You know he only scored 1 touchdown on the ground? That's not right. He scored 4 on the ground. Then he got hurt. No, I'm going to hitch my wagon. I know everybody's on Bryce Young, and I do believe they'll be better. Like if you say who's got a better record, Carolina or Houston, I'm going to lean to Carolina, but I'm going to tell you, I think when it's all said and done, I'm going to have a better feel that I think Bryce Young's better when it's all said and done this year. I mean, I'm sorry, C.J. Stroud.
I could see that. I still think Texans end up with a better record, though.
You think the Texans have a better record Because of that division or what? They're both in really, really gettable divisions.
They are. And I guess it's just for me, I like that roster. I like the way they're set up.
Really?
I like everything I've seen from them coming out of training camp so far.
All right. I mean, I look at it, and if you're going to tell me the Texans are going to have a better record, what, 5 wins, 6 wins? What? Where are they getting them? Ravens, then they get the Colts. Lose to the Jaguars, Steelers. Falcons, Saints. Well, God, those two divisions play each other. All right, so look, they're gettable. Ravens, then they play the Colts. Jaguars should be the class of that division. Steelers, who knows? Falcons, who knows? Saints, they play each other. The Panthers, Buccaneers, they get the Cardinals, they get the Broncos, fair enough. Fair enough.
You know, you said earlier, you put out that stat about the 82 games being in the top 100. So I did some quick math on that because it blew my mind when you said that. That's like 29% of every game. There's 285 games in the NFL, including playoffs last year. So that you're basically saying 1 in 3 games is one of the top.
Well, it's basically every national broadcast.
Wow, that
right?
is blowing my mind.
It's every national It's every NBC game or every Monday Night Football game or every Thursday night game. Thursday night games I don't even know how they do that. Yeah. All right, when we come back, latest on what's going on with conference realignment, the news this morning on the ACC. SMU has said we will take no money to go to the ACC for the next 5 years. How can they even do that, and is it going to work? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
One of the single worst stretches of team ownership in the history of American sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Service.
505-246-0610. It says, address the elephant in the room, Jeff. Give your response to the Aztec athletic director trying to grab some of the Mountain West teams and sneak off to the Pac-12. Okay. First of all, I don't think there was any sneaking done anywhere with San Diego State in regards to trying to get to the Pac-12. I mean, there's no sneaking. From my understanding, it wasn't the athletic director. It was the president who tried to cobble some stuff together and form what she was hoping would remain a power conference, right? So she thought if she could take some of she was never getting there, first of all. She was going to have to take 9 of them. She was going to have to take 9 teams to leave to get rid of the exit fee, JJ. Right? 9 of the 12 were going to have to agree to go to get rid of the exit fee of $17 million. That wasn't going to happen, I don't think. And go with Washington State and Oregon State and pull, SMU or whatever. What's my reaction to it? What's my response? JJ, how has this surprised anybody? It was everybody for themselves trying to make sure that, and I think it still is, everybody's trying to find a spot for them to secure their future. And future means next 2 years. I don't even know what future means. SMU's trying to secure their future by saying to the ACC, take us into your league and you don't have to pay us for the first 5 years. They've got private money together. But yeah, sneak? There was no, I don't know. What's your response when you read that story?
That it's a really good idea, and I can understand the frustration and looking at San Diego State like, man, here we go again. If you were not on that group text, if you're one of the teams that they were not going to bring along to the Super League, like, I get it. Like, you can be frustrated, but it's business. And at some point, this is, why this one frustrated me so much, because SMU saying, hey, just take us and we don't need money.
Because they've got so much.
It's a realization that these schools know they're going to get left behind. And, this could be the last moment where if you're not in one of these big leagues, and at this point in time, it's just the Power of 4, and the ACC's hanging on by a thread with Florida State and Clemson still being in there. But they at least have a long-term relationship with ESPN. Where this changes everything is if a quote-unquote super league develops out of this. And there is nothing stopping anyone. There's no one standing up saying, hey, should we kind of readdress this situation? Because it's just all scrambling for TV money. It has nothing to do with athletics, the product, wanting to develop athletic departments. It's just about, hey, there's a TV deal. Let's go.
John, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, John.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
I haven't called in a long time.
Good to hear you. What's happening?
If you talk to many athletic directors or if you watch TV closely, you will know that these conferences that have no tradition or geographic relevance, the stands are pretty damn empty. And these schools are slowly eroding away their economic future, and the only future they have is television, which that will begin to wane because at the end of the day, these schools demand loyalty from their alumni, but these schools don't demand loyalty from one another. And what it's doing is that nobody can pile in a car and do a quick 4 or 6 hour trip or 2 hour trip and go watch a team play.
Not in the West you can't. Now back East you can, but certainly not in the Western United States anymore.
Well, the way these conferences are set up, you can't even do it that way anyway. I mean, I was just in Pittsburgh and West Virginia, and I saw the facilities for Pitt and West Virginia. I mean, these schools are playing, down in Texas. I mean, they have nothing in common with Texas.
You're right.
And you're not seeing a bunch of Texas fans going up and sitting in the seats in West Virginia. And at the end of the day, it's the rivalries, it's the traditions, it's the excitement in the stands. And when people start dying off that don't have those memories, there's not going to be any loyalty. What's the next best form of entertainment? In the long run, they'll ultimately all lose relative to what they could be.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that thought. I don't disagree with you and appreciate you. I think his point on, the rivalries and look, Pittsburgh's still playing. They're not playing the same league as West Virginia. Pitt's in the ACC. West Virginia's in the Big 12. West Virginia's playing in the same league as Arizona. And I'll go back to what I said earlier today. I had this conversation last week about nobody wants to see Arizona State play Washington State. First of all, I don't think that's right. And secondly, as much as you're going to get, pick your premier matchup in your new league, you're going to get Arizona State playing UCF. And you're going to get Cincinnati playing Arizona. And you're going to get Utah playing Baylor. Does that excite you? Any more than Utah playing Colorado or Utah playing Stanford? Yeah, you've got marquee matchups in every league. Well, now you're going to get USC Michigan in league play. Okay, that's really cool. That will be cool. And you're also going to get USC Illinois and USC Minnesota and USC Rutgers and USC Northwestern and USC Purdue. Does that do it for you? Oh, by the way, you're going to get that 4 more, 5 more, 6 more times, and you're going to get USC versus Ohio State or Michigan. You're going to get way more Oregon versus Indiana or Washington versus Northwestern. USC versus Iowa. That do it for you? Probably not. And he's not wrong. And it's going to be interesting now to see Washington fan. Like, Husky fan doesn't get to play Wazoo. Maybe they'll play the Apple Cup. I don't know. But they don't get SC coming up.
And we've shown that these ADs,
they do get SC.
These presidents, they don't care because they've
TV money.
Well, they even about playing their rivals.
Bedlam's done.
Like,
Bedlam was Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and it seemed like it's a no-brainer. Put it on the non-conference schedule, but so many of these were like, nope, can't even do that.
Yep, we're hearing, well, there's no room for it anymore. They don't want to play us. No, we want to play them. John, I agree with you. I think this sucks. And so what does it mean? Back East, you're still going to have, when you talk about conferences, yeah, there's still going to be some of these conferences and conference games. Like the SEC is still able to drive to games. No, not all of them. I mean, if you're Florida and you're playing Texas A&M, you're not. But you still have relatively regional SEC, right? Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Missouri, South Carolina, right? You still have it relatively regional. Mountain West is relatively regional. Now, how much driving is there? Not as much. Never has been. But I don't think he's wrong as far as how did you become a fan? Well, you went to games with your dad. You went to games with your family. Somebody turned you on to it. All right. pretty fired up about that Maryland-Washington game? It's a conference game. As much as you're getting Oregon versus Penn State, that's a good one. You're getting Oregon versus Illinois. Minnesota versus UCLA. Those are league games, and who gives a damn? As much as you're getting, I don't know, whatever the Big 12 is doing, I don't even get anymore. But yeah, now you're going to get Houston versus Arizona State.
Or Houston UCF supposed to be a power conference matchup now.
It is a power conference matchup now.
Just because.
As of now. Yeah. As of now. Yeah. But all right, go enjoy Kansas State versus Arizona State, because somehow that's way better than Kansas State or Arizona State versus Washington State. You will never convince me of that. You just won't. And nor will you be able to John's point, nor will you be able to convince the fans. Now, there's talk Notre Dame wants to add Stanford and Cal to the ACC. Notre Dame's in the ACC except for football. Notre Dame's not going to join, but they want Stanford and Cal because they get a scheduling alignment with them. They get them in non-football sports, but they're not going to join. Evidently, that's hit a roadblock. The SMU thing is really interesting to me because SMU got a bunch of boosters to put 5 years worth of TV money together, like $250 million. And they're like, okay, we'll come into the ACC. You don't have to give us any money until 2030. Now, that's not true. By 2030, they'll get a full share. The first 5 years, let us in, no money. You guys split it. And then we'll take money in 5 years. Is there an advantage to that for the SEC? Or I'm sorry, for the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, to get into Texas that way? So now you got Carolina playing in the same league as SMU. Is there an advantage in that? There is for SMU.
For SMU, absolutely.
But is there for Syracuse? Boston College? Duke and Wake Forest and Pittsburgh and Carolina and Louisville? I don't know, man. That's where we are right now. That's where we are. All right, you want to talk some college football when we come back? Boise State tight end Riley Smith. The Broncos are the preseason favorite in the Mountain West Conference, as they always are. What about that Bronco mystique? What about coming across the country? This young man has an interesting story. He was a quarterback in Florida. He's a tight end at Boise State, talking about playing on the Blue. First time on the Blue. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Telling it like it is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
App Store. Just search KNML.
College football season starting. Dylan Hopkins, the Lobo quarterback, been held out of practice. Danny said he's going to shut him down. Danny Gonzalez, head coach at UNM, is going to shut his starting quarterback down until Monday. Give the other guys some reps, chances with the ones. You better evaluate who's going to be number 2, 3, and 4. And then bring back Dylan Hopkins on Monday as the Lobos get set to start the season. A little over 3 weeks away against Texas A&M on the road. Preseason favorites in the Mountain West Conference is Boise State. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. J.J., Boise State's interesting, and I've been doing this, I don't know, every year since Boise State's been in the league. I can't remember a year, and I don't think there's been one where they were not the preseason favorites
Always
in
the
the
favorite.
poll, right? Now, that doesn't mean they always finish first. Interesting conversation. When we sat down with the guys from Boise State, there's a lot about the mystique and what is Boise State, and do they still feel that Boise State has that brand, right?
It was an interesting group because the veteran players that they brought, they've been there 4 or 5 years, but they're a little looser as a whole.
I thought so too. Yeah, maybe that's a little Andy Avalos. I thought Andy Avalos was looser this year, their head coach. There's a conversation. We sat down with their tight end, Riley Smith. He of the preseason conference favorites and last year's runner-up in the league, Boise State.
Boise State is the preseason favorite. I've been doing this for every year. Boise State's been in the league, and every year I see the polls, and I don't think I've ever been here where Boise State's not at the top. Riley Smith, tight end at Boise State. You look at him, I guess you probably expected it. What do polls mean to you, if anything?
Yeah, at the end of the day, they don't mean much. It's a cool stat, but really our mindset is the same no matter what. Our expectations and our standard within the building is going to be the same whether we're at the top of the list or bottom of the list, and we're just going out and we're just humble and hungry, ready to compete.
How do you stay humble and hungry with all the success at Boise State? Because you're the big dog in that state, right? And really, for a while, and you can argue you're still the brand, if not one of the 2 top brands in the league.
Yeah, so it's we're going against a lot of great teams in this conference, and there's not one game ever where we're just overlooking, ready to play the next team. Every game is a tough competitor, and we're just ready to get after it. So we're always hungry. We're never satisfied, especially coming away not completing our goal of winning a championship last year. And we're just humbled by knowing that how grateful we are to have the opportunity to go out and play football every day.
Do you guys feel like you're the hunted every week, like, whenever whoever it is on the schedule, because the Boise State brand? And do you think the brand is still what it was 5-10 years ago?
Absolutely. I mean, the Boise State brand's always growing, but we know we're going to get the best from every team we play. And so at the end of the day, like I said, we can't overlook anybody. I mean, there's games that come right down to the wire, like the Wyoming game last year, and it's always great, tough competitors, and we just go out and try to compete every day.
Bartram Trail High School, you're a quarterback in the playoffs. How do you go from quarterback to tight end in Division I football?
I mean, it's a long road. I mean, I never expected for that to happen. I never played any other position, but came out and played QB for 2 years, and Hank Bachmeier ended up taking the starting job, so I was just signaling at the time, and they asked if I wanted to go run some routes, and I was like, it's better than standing on the sideline, and started excelling at that, and kind of found a new love within the sport. It feels completely different than playing quarterback, but fell in love with the position, and have just been running with it ever since.
Well, as we're all learning, Travis Kelce did start at quarterback, and now he's the best tight end in the NFL. What can you take from from playing quarterback as long as you did that helps you at tight end and just the offense?
Yeah, it's definitely the football IQ is a huge part of it. As a quarterback, you have to know what everybody's doing, what the defense is doing. There's certain looks, and you kind of have the eagle eye of the whole field. But when I switched to tight end, I was kind of a pawn in that specific spot, and I would look out and know exactly what they were doing just based off of all the training I did as a quarterback. And it helps me be on the same page as the quarterback, because when I played that position, I knew what I wanted out of my receivers and tight ends, and so now I can capitalize and help out my quarterback any way that I would have wanted it.
Riley Smith is a tight end at Boise State, was a quarterback. Your story is going to resonate with our audience, because there's another NFL tight end from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Nate Gentry, went to El Dorado High School and was recruited, actually went to Texas initially, he was committed to Texas, and Jim Harbaugh flipped him to go to Michigan and then convinced him to become a tight end. He's in the NFL with the Steelers now, and he's talked about the process. You kind of come to grips with something that you've done for a long time. You, in your mind, you're a good quarterback. And he's telling you, yeah, but you're not good enough to do it here. You got to change positions. How did you finally get there? Did you wrestle with the decision?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, I prayed on it a lot, talked to a close circle in my family, and decided it was the best move for me. I mean, nowadays with the transfer portal, I mean, that was on my mind at the time, but I just love Boise State so much and all my teammates, and I just wanted to stay at that spot. And at the end of the day, made the decision to switch, and it's been a tough ride for sure. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but I'm happy I did it.
You go from Florida to Boise, Idaho. It's a little different, huh?
Definitely.
What was the acclimation? I mean, never mind. Okay, you don't have any humidity, and you got great hair. So you're I do have hair envy. I'm not going to lie. But you go up there. It's a different world now, right? And people love it up there. How was that transition?
Yeah, it was different. It was a big culture shock at first. I mean, I've been a beach boy my whole life. But my dad, he grew up in Boise and moved to Florida in high school, so that was the connection there. But was a Kellen Moore fan. We always watched, and so we went out there and fell in love with the area. And it's just awesome to have a different environment for college and a new experience. And I've loved Boise so much. It's a beautiful place, and just took it all in and took advantage of being away from Florida for a while.
What was it like last year when Taylen Green stepped in, and what can you guys expect from him this year on offense?
Yeah, it was tough at first. There's a big adversity in the middle of the season, and but he stepped in, and even being a young guy, he showed a lot of maturity, and we just poured all our trust and belief in him and backed him up, and he did a great job, and we're excited to see him grow. He's done an extremely well job of improving his game throughout this offseason, and he's going to be an explosive guy, and he's growing as a leader and just brings some fun to the sport of football.
Riley Smith, tight end at Boise State, is with us on The Sports Animal. So talk about adversity, and I sometimes wonder how programs, people with a ton of success, stay, in your words, humble and hungry. And there was a Friday night in El Paso last year where you guys were humbled as a program.
Absolutely.
It was national TV. It was a UTEP team that got beat at New Mexico the week before and beat you pretty soundly. And it completely turned your season around. You could have gone two ways as a team. How'd you turn that thing around last year?
Yeah, so we had a choice to make, and we brought the whole team up, and we're like, at the end of the day, we can just go through the motions the rest of the season and possibly be one of the worst Boise State teams in since 2000, like the 2000s, or we could turn it around and have an amazing comeback story and win a championship. And that was our mind, and not one person was ready to go through the motions. We all turned it around and attacked it and ended up having a good season. We're ready to carry it over into this year.
That's a big deal, isn't it? The pride in that program. I mean, nobody wants to not live up to the standard, and to be labeled one of the worst teams in that program, I gotta believe would be a horrible, horrible, horrible fate.
Yeah, absolutely. The tradition that's set at Boise State, like on a daily basis, we just want to make all the people that have come before us proud, and it's a lot of hard work, and there's high expectations, and every single person on the team's bought in, and it really shows on the field. And like you said, the pride of Boise State is just thick through and through.
Well, one of the things, too, being a Broncos, you guys get opportunities. And because people respect you, they play you. You guys get to start the season at Washington. UCF is coming up to the Blue. What's it like being able to play those schedules year in and year out where you know, all right, you got the Mountain West competition, but you're going to get to play some big-time non-conference games?
Definitely. It's amazing, and it's just a great opportunity for us to go out and show who Boise State football is and also show who the Mountain West Conference is. I mean, we're an unbelievable conference with a lot of competition, and a lot of people overlook us. And when we go out and we play these big teams and get the opportunity to show what we can do, it's a blessing. And we usually take the most of the opportunity and try to come away with the win.
People say the Blue. I hear it all the time, and fans that are not Boise State fans despise it, right? Do you love the fact that they hate it so much?
Oh, I love it. It fuels the fire. I mean, they always talk about it. And at first, when I first got there, I was big culture shock. We're wearing the blue on the blue field. I was like, I can't see everything's blending in. But but we love it, and that's another patch on the tradition and the pride that we have for that field. And it is fun when fans despise it so much. It just gives us a little more energy.
Do you remember the first time you stepped on the Blue? Like, was there anything? Because I remember the first time I stepped on it. And I knew I was walking on blue turf, but for about 15 seconds, my equilibrium was off. It was weird.
It is weird. It's definitely weird. On my visit, I was like, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Even just being on turf in Florida, it's mostly all grass, so I had to acclimate to that too. But yeah, being on the Blue, it was a shock, and it was kind of like a dream come true. It was sweet.
Riley, enjoyed the conversation, man. Congratulations on the conversion, the success of the conversion from quarterback to tight end. Good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports.
Crafty.
He was pretty crafty around the greens. Like, nobody had a better short game.
The short game is fantastic.
Yeah.
Then the Saudi stuff is going to be there. The gambling is going to be there, but that's not going to outweigh, Phil Mickelson, kind of his personality and kind of the lovable Chicago Cubs-like run he was on, always trying to chase Tiger Woods.
What do you think?
My dad's a big Phil fan, so I kind of have always seen him, and I crafty, yeah, I think that, but the gambling, to me, the $1 billion of gambling is something that's the first thing I think about when I think of Phil Mickelson.
$1 billion.
Is that crazy? Over 3 decades?
So there's a new book out. Professional gambler Billy Walters, renowned, and you got to bet a lot. If you're a renowned professional gambler, he's got a book out called Gambler Secrets from a Life of Risk, and it's about Phil Mickelson. And the book says that Phil bet more than $1 billion on football, basketball, and baseball over the past 3 decades. An tried to place a $400,000 wager on the United States team in the 2012 Ryder Cup, a team on which he participated. Citing betting records from, quote, 2 reliable sources, Walters says that from 2010 to 2014, Mickelson, so that's a 4-year run, he made 858 bets of $220,000. That was his number. And 1,115 bets of $110,000. He estimates that Mickelson endured losses of approximately $100 million while betting more than $1 billion. So he didn't lose $1 billion. Evidently, he lost $100 million. Can you imagine?
I'd like to help him find that. $100 million, it's a lot to lose, though.
Can you imagine? No matter how much you make, dude, $100 million. So the only other person I know who surpassed that kind of volume is me. Walters says that in 2012, Mickelson called him from the Medina Country Club during the Ryder Cup and asked him to place a $400,000 bet on the United States to win. His response,
to Mickelson was, quote, "Have you lost your bleeping mind? Don't you remember what happened to Pete Rose? You're seen as the modern-day Arnold Palmer. You'd risk it all for this? I want no part of it," end quote. He said he doesn't know if Mickelson placed the bet somewhere else. Do you remember what happened in that Ryder Cup 2020? They lost by 1 point.
Ooh.
So if he didn't place the bet, he saved him $400,000. It's crazy. He said, look, the amount of money he made, I never had a problem. It's his money. He can spend it however he wants. Spend your money however you want. That's insane, though, isn't it? $1 billion, he estimates. It'll be a hell of a read. So people will be talking about that as you go through your day today. They'll be talking about football tonight. You get 2 NFL games tonight that you can watch. They'll be talking about the no-hitter that Michael Lorenzen threw yesterday for the Philadelphia Phillies against the Washington Nationals. And as they'll be talking about Aaron Rodgers' frustration over going 3-and-out in a controlled scrimmage against Carolina yesterday. And we will all be, as we are, every day watching conference realignment. And the latest I got for you, and there's quite a bit to have for you today, is that the ACC evidently last night had a meeting to vote on whether or not they wanted to allow Stanford and Cal in. And according to Action Network's Brett McMurphy, it sounds like it's not going that way. Now, SMU has offered to come in and not take money for the first 5 years. It's their only way they think they can get into a power conference. They think they're looking at 30 years down the line instead of 5. Stanford and Cal would get a reduced share, about 70% if they can get in. But Pat Forty says, he of Sports Illustrated, that the momentum towards adding Cal and Stanford, but they didn't think they can get 75%. And then Pete Thamel of ESPN said it has cooled. Things have slowed down because they can't get 75%. I mean, if you're the Syracuse AD, you're in Syracuse, New York, you're in Pittsburgh, you're in I don't know, Virginia's AD. What does it do to you to add Stanford and Cal? It gives you late night windows and you're traveling your softball team to Berkeley? Tell me why that makes sense for you.
None of it does, man. None of it does. And the thing now where you have coaches speaking out about it, you have administrators from the colleges such as Michigan going, what are we doing? Where were
Washington
you before all
State.
this, man? Right. Where were you before all this stuff went down? You were nowhere to be found because you're sitting in your corner waiting for those dollars to go off, and then you're going to act surprised, like, oh, I can't believe what we're doing in college athletics.
I wonder what you could have done at that point, right? When the momentum's...
Have someone step up and take over and say, all right, what is the point of this anymore? Because you're sitting there crying and complaining. You don't want to... Then stop pretending they're student athletes.
Yeah.
And then take football and play it separately. Make that a semi-pro league. And if you want to have college athletics, you can go play over here because you can't afford it.
It doesn't even have to be a semi-pro league. It still could be college football, but what you've done to everything else. But the disadvantage of that is you're keeping your leagues together, and you're going to have 3 or 4 schools in a league that are making exponentially more money for their athletic department because they play college football elsewhere. And so they are going to be at a distinct advantage over everybody else in every other sport because you're going to be getting $40, $50, $60 million more per year because you play football elsewhere, and then you bring it back, and are you on the same competitive field playing women's basketball?
And everyone's a part of a broken system that has no leadership right now.
Do you feel it's more broken now than it was 10 years ago? Because I absolutely do.
Yeah.
You would think we would make progress, right? Things evolve. And I am well aware that changes aren't permanent, but change is. And so things evolve, and you'd like to believe that you're making changes for the betterment of the game.
Because you can't have it both ways. And the problem was...
Meaning what?
You can't be signing deals that bring in $50 million to your school, and you're like, well, this is how we have to survive. And then at the same time be like, well, you have a scholarship and your student athletes in this amateur athletics. These things don't mix.
Well, but it's
like
always
college athletics, no, not to this extent.
Not to the $50 million, not to these
That's where the realization of college athletics was getting to a point where you're going to try to pretend and play this game, which for the majority of the university, they still do. Olympic sports, that. But the football piece to it has, like, and I'm sure you have all talked to coaches that I know coaches are done with it, and like just split already. Like let us get back to the way it worked for us. And let's move on.
Do you feel that colleges should not sponsor athletics anymore? Or should not
No, at
sponsor
this
football?
point, I'm surprised that question hasn't been put out there. If you're a state funded institution,
Yeah.
and it could get to a point where, why am I funding you if you're signing these television contracts? Like, what's the point then?
Well, and the crazy part is when you look at the debt, right?
Yeah.
So the amount of money, this is where your mind starts to get warped. When you look at the amount of money that's coming into these athletic departments, and then you say, how is Cal $243 million in debt?
The model is not working
Right? Remember when they were like $850,000 in debt here and people lost their bleeping mind? Dude, you weren't here. But this town, like people think that UNM athletics should be self-funding. And then you look around at places where the money's flowing theoretically like a river, and they're in debt hundreds of millions of dollars. Enjoy football tonight. Thanks to Riley Smith from Boise State. He was with us today. Jim Rome Show is next. Herd with Colin Coward is after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. Isotopes are in Round Rock tonight. Josh will crack the mic from there. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work. Looks good on the TV side. DC, great work. Thanks for letting me back in the building, guys.
Thanks for coming back.
Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.